We're live,
Mhm.
is what it says. So I'm gonna just log into the Facebook account and see if I can see it on there. Yep,
Oh, yeah.
we're on there. That's it. We did it.
It's
We're live.
yeah.
Hi.
Well, that was an interesting effort that took a couple of weeks, but it's fun to figure out, I guess, new old things or old new things or just new or old things to figure stuff out.
Sometimes when you haven't done it for a while too, it takes a little refresher.
Yes, definitely better you than me on figuring out tech. It doesn't even work in my dreams.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to dream about good and bad tech all the time. Hi, Patchwork World.
Hi, everyone.
Uh, how's your Wednesday going?
It's good. It's nice and sunny, um, which I always appreciate. I have a north-facing window, so it doesn't get like super bright in my eyes, but it's always really nice to see the sun with the greenery and the trees. It feels very happy. So good. I'm doing well. How about you?
Yes, sunshine lifts the spirits, especially if I can like get outside and breathe fresh air and enjoy it. But I don't know. I also like the rain too, so I can take
Mhm.
any weather.
I think I just like my window. I would say the same about my view. I feel really lucky to have it.
Yesterday, I saw a cardinal while I was looking out. And that like in the middle of my workday, I got to pause and like just enjoy that for a few seconds, and then get back to all the stuff I was doing. But sometimes those little breaks, like oh, squirrel, like. But for me, it was a cardinal.
This morning. So my kiddo had late start. Amelia had late start today, and their school is pretty late when it's late start. And so I was working on my computer at the kitchen counter with the back door open. We don't have a screen, as you know, and so the back door was just open. And I don't believe that this. I can't believe that this is the first time it's happened. But a chickadee flew in, a bird flew in, and
Into
I was
your
just
house?
in my house, and I was like, uh-oh, like this could be interesting. We have two dogs, so I was worried that they were gonna go crazy, and they didn't. It was the sweetest bird. It was really just trying to find a window to get out of. And so opening up the front door and opening up the back door, to give it a nice stream, it ended up in our dining room where we have a huge picture
Mhm.
window, and it was sort of on our dining room table trying to look around, and then it ever so sweetly just flew off and found its exit out of the back door.
That's so lucky. I remember when I was a child, the house I grew up in had a chimney, and every once in a while, my parents would open the flue for the chimney, and birds would have come down, and so or bats, and we had a we it had happened so frequently, probably before I was born, but there was this routine, and everyone in the family knew like go around, close all the curtains, open the front door, so that the light would direct whatever creature it was out.
Yeah, like they look for the light, right?
Yeah. We just had this like unspoken routine. We're like, oh, there's a bird in the house. Close all the windows. Open the door. So I haven't had that as an old childhood memory. Maybe I should tell our Patrick audience that um who we are, how we know each other.
Sure.
They're like these two ladies are just talking to each other. Uh, so my name is Alex, and I do the social media for Patrick. So if you have any ideas or questions, you can always message us on any of our social channels. I'm happy to be the one to jump in and help or direct you to the person on the Patchwork team. And then today on our Wellness Wednesday Live is a face that you know from Patchwork, which is Andrea Hoff, and she is the creator and therapist. And how many hats do you wear, or have you? You're probably all of them.
At one point, it was all of them. I've been lucky to, as we grow, have a great team that we've all built together. I could list everybody, but I wear, half of a hat in a lot of the domains where people wear hats. So somebody who works on the billing and finances, you work on the social media and marketing. I have a great therapist who also does outreach, and yet another one who does intakes and clinical supervision. So, it takes a lot to run the practice, and making sure that the people who do help me run the practice feel enriched and that they enjoy what they do, in whether they're a single role or whether they want to kind of tinker in more than one role, to just make them feel good for being out of their house. If they have to be out of their house, I want them to be somewhere where they want to be.
It's
So
really nice to have a team, like you had said, where everybody kind of pitches into a lot of the roles. I think that's so important for uh, any company or any business, is that being not just others, but for yourself to be able to say, okay, well, I know that's not my job, but how could I help? Or, how can I pitch in? I feel that in my morning job that I go to. So I think that's such an important role for all people in all jobs to help. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, and what it really, just my, aside from practical reasons, and making sure that your business, or the mental health business in particular, is a very private and careful place. But also, the work that we do as therapists is pretty heavy from times, awful joyful and light, but really, I mean, we're sort of receptacles of people's worries, their fears, their grief, their anger, all of these, really difficult feelings to hold. And so we join with clients to help them understand themselves, and then to figure out how to move forward doing better as they learn to do better. We as the therapists need to kind of dilute a bit of that to do other things that we like to do. And, self care is a big um, uh, focus in hopefully our industry. I think so, but certainly in my practice. And I think as best as I can as an employer, I want to help people not to just feel like they get to do their hobbies when they have extra time, but that the things that they really like to do, they get to do here too, so that it's a part of their work and not just a part of their, you know, like I said, spare time.
Speaking of your therapist and stuff, we should talk about then how we have Johanna is doing a mindfulness talk coming up.
Yeah,
Is that like the big new? Um, what is that one? It's through the library or something. It's next week, right?
yeah, it's the 25th. I think it's the 25th. I'm
Oh,
really bad with my dates. We have a calendar somewhere.
Tuesday
But
the
yeah,
28th.
the 28th. Yeah, so it's the 28th in the evening at the Elmhurst Public Library. Joe will be, yeah, talking about mindfulness, as sort of, I think, a state of mind, and also like a coping a coping tool, a therapeutic skill, and really just talking about the benefits that offers.
That's really cool. That not only do you guys do uh, your therapy in the office, but you offer your services like this, and in collaboration with like the library and stuff. I think that's really a great resource for people. I love the public library. Wherever I live, I always like want to join the library and see what they have going on. So I think that's so cool to have that space, and then to offer these. Um, this is like your second or third thing with the library so far, and
Definitely at least a second. Amy Duex did the difference between the winter blues and seasonal affective disorder.
oh, that's
Uh,
right, yeah, over Christmas or the winter holiday. That's so, yeah. Ooh, that was cool. How did that turn out?
I think it turned out really well. It was attended, and we had some feedback and questions, and it seemed to be really appreciated.
That's cool. Do you think you guys will be doing that again this winter?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll. I think that they save those recordings, and so we may want to do something that either branches off from that, or something a little bit different. Michaela, who's one of our child therapists, she specializes in grief, childhood grief, and she did a small talk at Brew Point, the local craft,
Coffee, right?
obviously. Right, right.
Yes.
Um,
I've had that coffee. It's very, very good.
so good. We did a an activity in their craft location. Nope, it's their roastery location. I think they call it their craft location. Where people gathered with us, led by Michaela, to do some exercises to help us think about grief as we went into the holidays. So November, I think it was. And so I would see us doing something perhaps similar to that towards the winter again, just to help kids or and adults prepare for those difficult holidays. Um, if you celebrate holidays around that time of year, especially some school breaks and things like that, it can get hard.
Mm.
So that's what I think we can do. Um, and I know Julie and Emily are talking about doing something with um, back to school because they work with kids, and so coming
Oh
back
my
to.
gosh. I have to get through just this getting out of school
Mhm.
or like summer we're preparing for, which is going to be something. Oh my gosh, I'm not ready to think about back to school already.
Yeah, I mean, blink, it, it'll be there. I was talking about our summer plans with Julie yesterday, and I felt that it took longer for me to talk about it than it will take for it to all happen.
Yeah, we'll have to cover that on our next Wellness Wednesday. We'll do a recap of your summer plans.
Well, just how do we also, I mean, I think the fear is, or, it's how do you plan for it, pay for it, work for it, and then savor it, like so that it doesn't go by too fast without you, stopping to enjoy it, getting lost in all the craziness.
Yeah, being able to live in the moment for sure. Not
Hmm.
just not the um missing work when you're not at work or and missing and wanting to be on vacation when you're at work or
Hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting balance, like to kind of hold all of those things at once and them to all be equally true. Like it's it's confusing, but you can latch on to any of them. I can easily latch on to the stress of whatever, fear of flying, or I can latch on to where is it taking me, and I can do both.
um let me see what should we cover for our first like real actually going live Wellness Wednesday here. What did you what did you have to talk about, or should I look at
My,
our May calendar?
we can go on the main calendar if you want. My main goal was to see if we could get it working. I was trying to start small, and we did. So thank you, Alex. Um, I guess wanting to maybe just talk a smidge about Patchwork and who works here, who does what they do.
Yeah,
That's all on our website, though. I don't know if that's redundant or I don't
I
know.
think it's fun. Let's talk about it. Let's talk.
Oh,
Tell me all about it. This could be the one we can go back. Um, today is what? Today's the 15th. Oh, it's National Brings Flowers to Someone Day. It's a good excuse. Could it be dandelions? Would that
could
count?
be. It does.
I
Are
know
they
the
a week?
little kids at school like to pick the dandelions and bring those. That's always special. They're
That's
so
really
sweet.
remember doing that on my chin, where I would go like this and end up with like a yellow chin.
Did you really?
Never do that to me. I was bored.
I used to always try to find the really long ones and braid the stems together so that I could make like a crown or something. Mm, that was
Here,
fun.
brains.
And it was probably during gym class when I was supposed to be playing softball or baseball or something. um, let's see. Tomorrow's the 16th. I love our calendar that we put out for everyone. Tomorrow is National Honor Our LGBT Elders Day, which is really cool. And then International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia is coming up on Friday. Oh, and Mental Health Action Day too. Oh my goodness, this is a full week.
Yeah, leading into Pride Month, which is June, obviously. Um, so
And
some it's not,
Elmhurst is having their big one on the 22nd. You guys are going to be at the Elmhurst Pride Fest.
yeah, we're putting together our theme. I try to have a different sort of theme every year. I hope. I mean,
Do you
we'll
get
see.
to disclose that secret with our Facebook, Instagram live streaming audience, or are you going to keep it? Is it going to be? Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
A whole section of a population will love it, and the other ones will come for the games and the fidgets and the mints or something. Um, but it's fun. It's yeah, June 22nd at Elmhurst Presbyterian. It's on Spring Road in New York and St. Charles, right by the high school. I can't remember what the church is. I think it's Elmhurst Presbyterian.
I have a
Um,
feeling if you get in that area, you won't miss it.
you won't miss it, yeah.
Yeah.
Food trucks, there'll be live music. I think there's usually somebody from like a band from the high school, or I think School of Rock plays there too. Um, the first year we went there, it was a downpour. I mean, it was a deluge. It was very dramatic. Um, so the music was Matt with his boombox walking around with like a ducklings of teenagers jamming in the
In the
rain.
rain.
And
Oh,
then last year it was really sunny but really hot. So we had fans and the cold water. It was fun. So I'm so curious what the Chicago weather is going to give us this year, June 22nd. It could be
maybe
anything.
both.
Yeah,
Maybe one in the morning, one in the afternoon. If it's yeah.
probably.
Oh, but it sounds like if it's really hot, you get spritzed down and you have a good time, and if it's raining and wet, you dance in the rain.
Right. Make the best of it.
Yeah, sounds like no matter what the weather is, you guys will have a good time. Good time for people to come out and to meet Patchwork, and then well, segue into meeting some of our therapists. So you want to tell us about who works at Patchwork and what their special skill set, or what do you call it for a
Yeah,
therapist?
specialty area of expertise or what they like to do.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so I will start with Monica. Maybe we'll talk about her today. She is one of our awesome child therapists. Her name is Monica Lekowitz. She is a local mom, and she is a retired school counselor. She's a licensed clinical social worker, but worked for quite a few years in a parochial school as a school counselor. She does a lot of really good work with um, young kiddos as young as 4, as old as I think 8 or 10. She works really well with structured sessions that really focus on task based coping skill learning, which is guided but not driven, if you know what I mean, by the therapist's interventions. So she does pretty strong work with cognitive behavioral therapy, where you learn about cognitive distortions, about what ways are you thinking wrong, just in general, about like how you think, errors like if you catastrophize or if you discount all of the positives if one thing goes wrong. Like that's just a way that you think that's wrong, not what you think is wrong, but it's how you think doesn't serve you well. And so challenging distortions and then changing the way that you think to help to create different behaviors, different outcomes. And so that works really well with kiddos who are having behavior problems or who are on the autism spectrum, who have ADHD, who really need structure to help them feel contained. She works a lot with parents to help bridge that gap between home and therapy, as well as working with the schools, the school counselors and social workers to help them kind of implement the same language and try and have similar actual approaches in the classrooms or in the homes so that it becomes as consistent as possible.
That's really cool to have someone on your team for your child that that utilizes all of the things that they interact with, like their school or the, and works with the parents. I know I got to chat with her once before, and she kept like telling me, she goes, but it's really important that we're a team and the parents, or, and I was like, oh, that's so awesome that she has these relationships, not to just work with the child, but to bring the parents in and saying, can we, let's try this to encourage these things, or whatever she's working, I don't know whatever she's working on. Yeah, so I think that's awesome, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, and really, like I've heard it a million times, and I've probably said it a million times myself, is there's no book. You know, when you have a child, they don't come with a manual. It's not like here's how to help them grow and be productive humans and behave in complicated situations. So it is really important for parents to feel vulnerable and to say, I need help. And for a clinician, a really skilled, very committed clinician to say, I want to help you. You're doing a great job. And here, how do we take what you're already doing really well? Let's see what isn't working for you. Let's use what you're doing really well and strengthen your parenting.
And each of those things be different for each child, because like no two kids are the same, and they're not going to handle the situations the same. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing, like, if you have more than one kid, then that it can be adjusted and discussed for every situation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Each kid has his or her own or their own needs. Um, even if they're in the same household, even if they're twins, literally sharing the same birth date and time frame, they come with different hard wiring. They're just different people and temperaments, like how they behave, how they experience sensory input or emotional output. Those sort of things are very unique, and each child needs to be parented as best as a parent is able in a way that really suits the child. Obviously, it has to suit the parent. The parent has to be able to do it, but you can't really force a square peg into a round hole. And adults have the capacity, after all our brain development, we have the capacity to change our hole so that we could have a hole that the peg fits in versus trying to force the other way. And then in that same way, like how do you help parents think about parenting differently, like the role of children that's changed over centuries even.
Mhm.
you know
That's so cool. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's already 1:30.
oh gosh,
Um,
sorry, I can't talk
what
about this.
if, I know, what if we highlight the next therapist on our list every Wednesday? We'll go down your list, and can we talk about each one of their awesome skills, and um what the things that they offer? Should we?
Definitely.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure. Maybe
everybody gets their special day. Which
maybe
is,
one of these maybe I can rope one of them in to our call.
yes, let's rope them in. That
All
would be
right.
awesome. Oh,
Cool.
how fun. Oh my gosh, I wish we had more time. I want to hear all about the things that Patchwork is doing, um I'm going to say, if you missed something, or if you want to learn more, reach out to you guys. Check out posts on social media, check out the website. I know you guys have a YouTube channel. You guys have been posting um little snippets and videos. And speaking of Monica, she posted one about breathing, and she likes to, so yeah, check out all of the resources out there, and give Patchwork a call.
Yeah, we're here. Thanks,
Cool.
Alex.
Yeah, happy Wellness Wednesday. Thanks for checking in, and for your time.
All right. See you later.
All right, I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.